Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jesse with 10 Back Bowling again, and today I bring you the all-new Brunswick Rhino Pro and the Ethos Hybrid. So very excited about both these balls. I've thrown them quite a bit in league already so far. Ethos Hybrid is definitely, that benchmark category hybrid bowling ball for me right now. And then this Ivory Rhino Pro is a phenomenal transition ball, especially as the lanes get a little bit tougher, and I want to see a little bit more of a blended, smoother reaction from a pearl. So we'll start in the Ethos Hybrid, and then we'll migrate left like we typically do, see how the ball rolls, and we'll go from there. Yeah, so I threw a couple practice shots just to kind of get lined up on the lane. Definitely like what I see out of the ball. It's a ball that is going to be very versatile for people. It's going to let you, play, kind of up the track area if you're a little more speed dominant, give you a nice little pop on the back end. It's also going to let you open up the lane. So from a versatility perspective, I think we knocked it out of the park with this one. Yeah, so definitely nothing wrong with that reaction, right? Digs in the oil just a little bit. It doesn't labor and kind of skid through the break point, at least from what I've seen so far. And anytime I can strike in the videos, it's always a plus, because that's not always the case. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's throw the Ivory Rhino Pro real quick. I'm gonna go back a couple boards, probably move three boards with my feet. Back to the right, interested to see if I catch some friction on the outside or if it holds off. All right, tripping 9 pins. My lucky day. So I actually missed in on that. I did not get that right at the break point where I wanted it, but you did still see the ball shape. And that's kind of what I've seen out of this ball so far. I've had a little bit of miss room both directions, right and inside. If I get it in the oil, it still has enough cover stock strength to turn the corner like you saw there. Throw a little better shot here. Okay, so that's kind of what I expected to see. That was where I was originally trying to throw the ball. So off of that, we'll move a little bit left. The nice thing about this Ivory Rhino Pro, it's a symmetrical bowling ball. Definitely smoother when it sees the friction. I think just right there you saw that. It's not super angular. Kind of stuck at the line a little bit, but I got it to the spot down lane that I was kind of looking for. So as you can see, it's just very smooth, nice predictable shape. I was actually a big fan of the teal Rhino when it came out. I thought that was a nice first game league ball for me. Now that this one's out, I think it's a great compliment to the people that like that ball. When that one's burning up just a touch and you need something a little cleaner. Brunswick balls are good. What can I say? All right, so let's go back to the Ethos. Oops. Move a little left, see what we can do with the ball. All right, so on this condition of the lane, has a few games on it already. I can see that this far left, opening the angles, this extreme, I'm probably gonna have to tone off on my speed a little bit, which there's nothing wrong with. I think that's the important part of the game nowadays, right? We gotta have some versatility. Can't be a one-trick pony anymore, especially with the two-handed game and how it's evolved. So let's slow it down a touch. Slow it down a little too much, I guess. The good thing to see is the continuation from the bowling ball though, right? You know, sometimes with these hybrid bowling balls, it's not uncommon when you open up for me at least, when I open up the angles, this extreme that I have a hard time getting them to continue to drive through the pocket. Definitely not the case here. And that kind of speaks to that versatility I was talking about with this ball earlier. So yeah, overall not bad. You know, if there was a little bit more friction out to the right side, instead of probably a little bit of the carry down that we're experiencing right now, I think we'd see a little bit sharper change of direction down lane, but it's still digging in the oil, which is good. All right, I'm gonna really hit on this one. See what we can get out of it. So there we go. You know, I really grabbed a hold of that one at the bottom. I just really wanted to see if it was going to be able to change direction down lane, and it did. I expect to see this ball struggle a little bit from this zone right now. Maybe not. All right, so that was pretty good. I will say I was 4 boards left of that with the Ethos, so we'll make that jump. Let's see if this Rhino Pro can prove me wrong. Oh, that's brutal. Man, that ball looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected this ball to labor down lane just because of the amount of oil that was down there. But that's not what's happening right now. I actually think it looks better than the Ethos did. All right, so got a wrap 10 there. Yeah, overall, very pleased with both bowling balls. I think that for anybody that's looking for a benchmark type bowling ball, the Ethos Hybrid is definitely going to fit that characteristic. If you're looking for, you know, a nice transition ball, and you want to see that smoother, rounder shape out of the bowling ball, then this Ivory Rhino Pro definitely fits that as well. Yeah, that was just a bad shot. All right, so we'll throw a couple more with each ball. I'm gonna find the sweet part of the lane, throw a few strikes, so we get some good ball motion. As always, guys, you know, we appreciate you watching our videos. You know, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You know, give us some feedback on what you're seeing. Let's try to get some strikes. Game's easy if you hit the pocket. I can tell you we've had a lot of Brunswick staffers with some honor scores out there the last 2 weeks with this ball. Alright, so we'll throw one more, then we'll throw that Ivory Rhino Pro. I actually think I can stay in the same part of the lane. You know, I think that's where these two balls complement each other really well. You know, so far from what I've seen is they are capable of being in a similar part of the lane as each other. You know, when this is either burning up or, you know, maybe a little bit too quick down lane, being able to transition to the other ball. So, not bad. All right, throw 3 shots of this, then we'll wrap up the video. For anybody that's in the local area, we have a ball demo coming up at the end of the month. We'll have all the new releases from 10 brands. So let me know if you want to attend that. We'd love to have you. All right, 2 more. I actually rolled up the back of that. That's why you didn't really see the ball turn down lane. That was definitely a me problem, not a ball problem. All right, last shot, then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so that is the Brunswick Ethos Hybrid and the Brunswick Ivory Rhino Pro. So very happy with both bowling balls. These are 2 balls that I've actually been using quite a bit lately. In league, so I typically like to start in the Ethos Hybrid, kind of game 1, going into game 2. Depending on who we're crossing with and what the lanes are doing, you know, based off temperature, humidity in here, kind of dictates how long I can stay in that ball. What I commonly tend to see is it sees the friction, and you kind of saw that today. It sees the friction, and it gets a little squirrely down lane for me. I start, you know, going through the head pin, having a hard time getting it through the front and mid part of the lane. To get down there. So I like to transition into the Ivory Pro. The Ivory Pro has been a nice game 2, game 3 ball. Has not realistically for me been a ball that I've used game 1 too much. Reason being is what I see on the fresh is the ball likes to get a little bit too far down the lane. It comes in behind the head pin quite a bit. So it's not a ball that can't be used on the fresh, but I think for me specifically, I'd have to take off some of the polish of the bowling ball probably to get it to pick up just a touch earlier, and I just really don't need to do that, so I haven't, right? I got other bowling balls that fit that part of the bag for me. So in relation to the line right now, where the Brunswick Ethos Hybrid fits, for those of you that liked the track theorem, I think that this ball is a good complement. If that ball was getting too far down lane or was a little too sensitive to the oil, that's what I experienced with the theorem. The theorem for me was great when it was great, and it just was not great when it wasn't, right? So it was a little sensitive to the oil. I don't see that with the Ethos. The Ethos digs in the oil, it sees the friction, goes sideways. The theorem is definitely a more angular bowling ball. So if you did like the theorem and you're looking for something to complement that, I think that this is great for you. The GB4 Hybrid, big fan of the GB4 Hybrid. I still have that in my bag. Kind of similar problem with that ball in relation to this one. That ball, when it sees the oil, tends to skid through the break point. It's a little bit more of a transition ball for me. It needs to see some friction, but when it does, it's very blended, smooth reaction. I think that this covers a couple more boards down lane than the GB4. does. I would say this is a touch more angular than that ball, where that ball is just very, very smooth and round in shape. So I think from a hybrid perspective inside the brands of Brunswick right now, we have at least 3. I know there's more out there, but we have at least 3 hybrid bowling balls that fit and complement each other really well. The Ivory Rhino Pro, again, going to be that nice transition ball for anybody that is a little more rev dominant and you're having a hard time getting the ball off of the head pin. I think that something like the Ivory Rhino Pro is going to be really good for you. I tend to try to find the smoother, symmetrical pieces like that because of that same issue that a lot of you guys run into as well. For the speed dominant players, it's definitely going to be more of a transition ball. You're going to need to square your angles up, and it's going to probably need to see some friction for you. If you're looking for that smoother, rounder, just kind of fade to the pocket, game 2, game 3 in league, that's kind of where that ball is going to fit for you. So overall, very happy with both balls. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video. Leave us some comments if you have any, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button again. We'll see you guys for the next video.